Praise the Lord. Hi students, welcome back to Namagurugulu YouTube channel. Dear students, in the last two videos we have seen 10 marks each questions on multiple choice questions on science. That is, we have solved question number 41 to 50 in first video, 51 to 60 in second video, and we are going to start from question number 61 in this third video. Okay, hope you don't need any introduction for these videos because you have been following it from past two videos. Okay, let's directly go on to the question number 61. That is first question for this video. Okay, don't forget this would be the 21st question of science. Okay, right. So the question, it goes like this: the number of single bonds present in the structure of a cyclohexane molecule is. The options are 12, 18, 24, 6. Let's read the question once again. The number of single bonds present in the structure of a cyclohexane molecule. You have to know how to read the terms clearly, particularly in alkanes. Okay, so cyclohexane it is molecule. Options are 12, 18, 24 and 6. So if you are able to write the structural formula or structural formation of this molecule, then you can easily find out the number of single bonds. Okay. So note down, dear students, it's a hexane and also it's a cyclohexane, isn't it? So hexane means you will have 6 molecules of carbon. And we know it's a hexane it is. So all these are alkanes. Single bond between carbon-carbon single bonds. So you can check here, between carbon-carbon single bonds, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 single bonds. At the same time, carbon should have 4 bonds. So this will be taken with 2H here. Okay. Similarly, this will be taking 2H, H, H, again H, H. For this term, carbon it is H and H, and finally H and H. So between carbon atoms, okay, between carbon there are 6 single bonds, and 2 each from each C, that is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Okay, so 12 plus 6 single bonds between carbon. So totally there are 12 plus 6, that is equal to 18 single bond in the cyclohexane molecule. Okay, so it's a very simple structure. You can easily find out the number of single bonds. We have found it out. Let's check the options. So the options we had is 12, 18, 24 and 6. We know the right option is option B, 18 single bonds. Okay, right. So no doubts in that. Let's go to the next question. In modern periodic table, as we move down a group, that is moving down the group, the atomic size of the elements. So what happens to the atomic size of the elements? Options are: option A decreases, option B does not change, option C increases, and option D first increases and then decreases. Okay, there are 4 options. Please note down, there are 2 patterns. One is moving down the table and moving right to the table. Okay, please note it down. I want to find out what happens to the size of the atom, that is atomic size of the element. Okay, I want to find out the atomic size of the element when it is moving down the group. Okay, so just look at this scenario. Okay, dear students, so in the modern periodic table, not just the size of the atom, there are many parameters. You have to know what happens when it moves from left to right and when it moves from top to bottom. Okay, the parameters like atomic size, electronegativity, valency of an electron, metallic characteristics and non-metallic characteristics, and all such things. Okay, you should know it. But in this question, they have asked you the atomic size. Please note down, when you're moving from top to bottom, the size of an atom, what happens? Yes, any guesses? It increases. Please note down the size of, that is atomic size. The atomic size of an element increases when it is moving down the group, that is from top to bottom. Now they may ask you the other way around. What happens when it is moving from left to right? So don't forget, when it is moving from top to bottom, it increases, whereas when it is moving from left to right, it decreases. It means what? Don't forget, we are talking about atomic size. So we are talking about the atomic size of an element. Okay, so he is asking this option top to bottom. We have found out that it is increases. Let's check in which option you have increases. So options are decreases, does not change, increases, and first increases and then decreases. As we have found out, the right option is option C. The atomic size of the elements increases. Okay, is it clear? Right. So hope you don't have any doubts in this question, and let's move on to the question number 63. Okay, so the next question goes like this. Observe the following chemical reactions. He has given you two chemical reactions. The question is the decreasing order of reactivity of metals in the above reaction is. Okay, there are two chemical reactions are given. You have to find out the decreasing order of reactivity. Okay, so let's work it out. So the first reaction we have is Fe, that is iron plus CuSO4, which is nothing but copper sulfate, isn't it? Fe plus CuSO4 will give you FeSO4 plus copper. Okay. The second equation is zinc, that is Zn plus FeSO4. Okay. This will give you zinc sulfate, that is ZnSO4 plus iron, which is Fe. Okay, so if you note it down in these two equations, you can just check it. Which element is more reactive? We definitely know in this case iron is more reactive than copper. Are you following? Iron is more reactive in copper with respect to this equations. Similarly, taking the second one, here zinc will be more reactive than iron. Are you following? Zinc will be more reactive than iron. Okay, comparing these two equations. Now, which is more reactive? So, if you compare these two equations, you can clearly write copper reactivity of copper is lesser than iron, and the reactivity of iron is lesser than zinc. So, comparing these two equations, you can write zinc is more reactive. Okay, lesser reactive than zinc would be iron, that is Fe, and a much lesser would be copper, which is Cu. Is it clear? Very simple. Now note it down, dear students. He is asking you the decreasing order. Sometimes he may ask you the increasing order. If it is increasing order, then it would be Cu, Fe and Zn. Okay. The decreasing order, if they ask you, it would be like copper. It is less reactive than iron, and iron is less reactive than zinc. Okay, please be very careful. He is asking you the decreasing order. The highest reactivity will come first. So zinc, iron and copper is the order. Now if you check in the four given options, the right option would be option A, isn't it? So option A, you can find zinc, iron and copper in the respective orders. Okay, so that will conclude the solution for question number 63. Okay, let's move on to question number 64. The question number 64 we have is the gas liberated when dilute sulfuric acid, that is H2SO4, reacts with zinc granules. I repeat, the gas liberated when dilute sulfuric acid reacts with zinc granules. Options are sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide, nitrogen and hydrogen. All these four are gases. Now we have to find out which is the gas which is liberated. Okay, just think of the chemical reaction we get. Zinc, that is Zn, when it reacts with the dilute sulfuric acid, that is nothing but H2SO4. Okay, this will give me zinc sulfate, that is ZnSO4. Okay, this is H2SO4, sorry, ZnSO4 plus this will give me H2 gas which is liberated. Okay, you can think about the reaction here. So the reaction is, we know zinc is a metal, isn't it? So when metal reacts with, we know H2SO4 is acid, this will give us salt. The salt generated here would be zinc sulfate plus what gas it is? Hydrogen gas. Are you following? So this is the chemical reaction. So according to this reaction, the gas which is liberated is the hydrogen gas, which is H2. Okay, now the given options are sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide, nitrogen and hydrogen. So definitely the right option would be option D, which is the hydrogen gas. Okay, I hope it's a very simple question, provided you have to have the proper knowledge of the entire concept. Okay, yes, that's enough. Let's go to the question number 65. Okay, moving on to question number 65. There is a chemical reaction is given. What is the reaction? NaOH, okay, sodium hydroxide plus HCl. Okay, so this will give me the salt sodium chloride NaCl plus H2O. Okay, now you can see here what type of reaction is this. That is, the chemical reaction is an example of neutralization reaction, substitution reaction, addition reaction, and combustion reaction. Okay, now if you can note down, it's a very simple reaction here. We know sodium hydroxide NaCl is a base, isn't it? So this is a base and HCl is an acid. So when acid and base react, so such kind of reactions, we know this is a neutralization reaction. Is it clear? So very simple chemical reaction. Bases and act react to give you neutralization reaction. Okay, so let's check the options. Neutralization option is in the first option itself, which is option A, and that is our correct answer, right? So that concludes the question number 65 also. Let's move on to 66. Okay, so question number 66 is a very simple question. The molecular formula of benzene is, we know benzene ring, C5H12, C6H12, C6H6, C6H16. Okay, it's very easy to remember, dear students. The molecular formula of benzene is just like your ABD. It's all sixes. That is nothing but C6H6. Okay, so this is the molecular formula which is given in option C. Okay, in case they ask you the structural formula, you know how to write the benzene ring structure, which has 6 carbon atoms. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so this is, and from here you have hydrogen single bond each. Okay, so this is your structural formula of benzene. Okay, anyhow, molecular formula they've asked you, it is C6H6, and we have found out which is the option C. Okay, right. Let's go to the next question, question number 67. Sorry students, I had written 67 here, but actually it was 66th question. Next one is the 67. So here comes the questions from biology. Okay, the process that helps in the absorption of upward movement of water and minerals dissolved in it from roots to the leaves in plants. So what process is this? Whether it is process is respiration or transpiration or photosynthesis or translocation. These are few are very simple. Okay, photosynthesis, we know it's the process of preparing food. Okay, now here you want to find out the process of absorption of water and minerals. When water is and minerals are moving from roots upward to the leaves. Okay, now this happens through the tissue called xylem. Okay, we know that, and we know this process we call it as transpiration. Okay, what is actually transpiration? Now leaves will lose water, that is loss of water from the leaves. That will create scarcity of water. This will create something called transpirational pull. When there is a transpirational pull, water and the minerals are they will move from the root to the upward part through the tissues called xylem. Okay, so the process, we just want to know what is the process. This process actually is named as transpiration. Okay, now checking on to the options here, transpiration is given in option B, and that would be our right option. Okay, right. So biology questions are almost straightforward questions, provided you should know that they are all conceptual questions. You should know the concept clearly, only then we can answer. Okay, so let's move on to question number 68. The question number 68 goes like this: the correct pathway, read the question clearly, the correct pathway of oxygenated blood. Once again, you have to read each word carefully. The correct pathway of oxygenated blood coming from lungs, okay, to the heart in the human body. You have to trace the path from lungs to heart. Okay, what is the path follows? Okay, now he is telling you that it is the oxygenated blood. Definitely, out of the four given options, oxygenated blood will never enter pulmonary arteries. Okay, the oxygenated blood will never directly enter into the pulmonary arteries. Actually, it starts from the pulmonary veins. Okay, the from the lungs, the oxygenated blood is first taken into the left atrium. Please note it down: left atrium through pulmonary veins. Okay, you know the process clearly. I'm just giving you an idea. So from lungs, it will go reach the left atrium through the pulmonary veins, from left atrium to left ventricle. Okay, from left ventricle, it will reach the different parts of the body, where you will find heart as one of the part, and it reaches the heart. Okay, and through aorta, we know that process also, we know that. Okay, so here the correct pathway for this question is, as I told you, from lungs. So clearly note down the path, dear students. From lungs, they reach the left atrium through the pulmonary veins. Okay, from left atrium they go to left ventricle. From there they move on to the different parts of the body, where you will have the heart. Okay, so the right or the correct pathway is given in the four options is in option D. Okay, so question number 68, the right option is option D. Okay, yeah, it's cleared. Let's go on to question number 69. So the question number 69 is pertaining to the hormones. I strongly believe, dear students, that you will definitely have one question related to hormone, maybe like which hormone is secreted in which gland, or the function of hormone, and maybe in the diseases which is caused lack of hormones. Okay, but here the question is, the hormone that regulates carbohydrate, protein and fat metabolism in the human body is. I repeat, the hormone that regulates carbohydrate, protein and fat metabolism in the human body is, the options are testosterone, adrenaline, thyroxine and insulin. Okay, definitely without doubts we can go for this question, the right option for this question would be the thyroxine. Okay, so the thyroxine, which is produced in the thyroid gland, which takes care of the process of protein metabolism, or this carbohydrate, protein and fat metabolism. Okay, in the human body is taken care by the hormone thyroxine. Are you following? Is it clear? Okay, hope you don't have any doubt in this. Before we go on to the next question, please note it down, this, dear students. Among the four given hormones, the testosterone is secreted in testes. Okay, the function of the testosterone is it takes care of the secondary characteristics in male. Okay, now let's go on to adrenaline. Adrenaline is produced in adrenal gland, and this controls the blood pressure. Okay, BP. Now thyroxine, which is what we look for, this is produced in thyroid gland. This takes care of fat and carbohydrate metabolism, in which even proteins are there. Finally, the insulin. Okay, definitely, because you might have heard about the sugar patients speaking about insulin or insulin injections. The reason is very simple. Insulin produced in pancreas, okay, this controls the blood sugar level. Okay, when the sugar level is altered, then insulin plays the role here. These are very important things to be noted down. Okay, so that's will conclude the question number 69. This is just for your additional information. Okay, so let's move on to the question number 70, which is the 10th question in the video. Okay, so let's move on to question number 70. The mismatched pair among the following. So which are the options given here? Option A, adrenaline, pituitary gland. I have a doubt in this. Testosterone, testis. So that is what I just told you a few minutes ago. Testosterone is produced in testis. Insulin is produced in pancreas. Thyroxine is produced in thyroid gland. So definitely this is the mismatch here. Adrenaline is not produced in pituitary gland. Rather it is produced in adrenal gland. Okay. So this is the mismatched pair among the following. Okay. Very simple question this is. Very simple question, and you have found out the answer also. That is why I told you you should have a clear picture of what the hormones, where it is secreted, and the functions, and the deficiency of hormone which causes the diseases or syndromes. Okay, yeah. uh, Dear students, I don't want you to wait for another video to clear the other 10 questions. Hope you have enjoyed it till now. Let us finish off the other 10 questions in the same video. Okay, I hope few of you are happy hearing this. Yeah, let's continue with question number 71. Yeah, so the question number 71, the part of human brain. Okay, we definitely know, as soon as when I say human brain, you will think about cerebrum, cerebellum, and medulla oblongata. Okay, that's good to have the information. The part of human brain responsible for precision of voluntary actions and maintaining the posture and balance of the body. Are you following? So the option given are, which part of the brain is responsible for voluntary actions and maintaining the posture and balance of the body. Okay, the option given are pons. No, it's not the correct answer. Hypothalamus, even that is not the right option. Cerebrum, even that is not the right option. Definitely, the body balance or posture is depending upon the part of the human brain called cerebellum. I repeat, cerebellum. These both are very near. Sometimes students make a mistake. Instead of going for cerebellum, they go for cerebrum, or instead of going for cerebrum, they go for cerebellum, because they have a slight difficulty in noting down the spellings. You should be very careful, dear students. Please don't make mistake in that part. Okay, it's a very simple question. We don't get into the depth of the process here, okay, because you know that. So question number 72, a pathogen that causes gonorrhea and syphilis transmitted through sexual contact. Okay, just like, have you heard about, I think in our textbook, we have discussed about 3 STDs. So STD means sexually transmitted diseases. So which are those? So we know it is AIDS, syphilis, and gonorrhea. So the question is about the pathogen that causes gonorrhea and syphilis. Okay, coming to studies, that is sexually transmitted diseases, we definitely know AIDS is caused by a virus called HIV. So what causes AIDS? It is HIV, which is nothing but human immunovirus. Okay, now the other 2 STDs, which is syphilis and gonorrhea, these are actually bacterial diseases. Okay, these are bacterial diseases. That means definitely they are caused by bacteria. Okay, so the pathogen which causes the syphilis and gonorrhea, so pathogen that causes gonorrhea and syphilis transmitted through sexual contact is definitely bacteria. Please note down, it is not protozoa or virus or fungus. The right option is option B, which is bacteria. Is it clear? Hope you are clearing with all the concepts here without any doubts. Okay, please don't have any doubt. If in case you have any doubt, you have to go through your textbook and read the concept clearly. Okay, yeah, let's move on to the question number 73. Moving on to question number 73, the correct sequence found in the process of sexual reproduction in flower is, there are 4 processes given. Pollination is given, embryo, seed, and fertilization. If you can note it down clearly, okay, you have to go through the question and options neatly. We definitely know the first process in the sexual reproduction of a flower is pollination. Okay, this will be taken care by the bees or the insects. Okay, first it all starts with pollination. After pollination, the process next which will take place is fertilization. Okay, I will not explain each process in detail because these are MCQ questions. It takes a lot of time for me to explain in detail. Okay, after fertilization, the embryo is developed. Okay, embryo is developed, and rather this is further developed into a seed. Okay, so the correct sequence would be pollination, fertilization, embryo, and seed. Okay, so among the given options we have, I think option A, if you check here, that follows directly the given sequence: pollination, fertilization, embryo and seed. Okay, so you need not go through the other options. Definitely in this case the first option itself is the correct sequence, starting from pollination to the seed. Okay, so as I told you, these are each procedure, each stage has so much of explanation in that. I cannot get into the each functions of each stages. We just wanted to know the stages and we have found it. Okay, so option is, we have found out the right option, and that concludes the question number 73. Let's move on to question number 74. So question number 74 reads like this: the part of the plant seed that grows and develops into root on germination is. I repeat, the part of the plant seed that grows and develops into root on germination is cotyledon. So this is a part of a plant seed, endosperm, radicle and seed coat. Okay, so just get into your mind, so kindly get the picture of the okay, part of the plant seed. Okay, now the main things we come across is cotyledons, radicle and plumule. Okay, among this we know cotyledon, this will take care of storing the food, isn't it? The cotyledon will take care of storing the food, and we know that the plumule, this will develop into the shoot system. Okay, the plumule will develop into the shoot system, and the required part is the radicle is the part of the plant seed which will develop into the root system. Okay, so the right option here would be the part of the plant seed that grows and develops into root on germination is option C, which is radicle. Are you following these, students? If in case if there is a student by name Radhika, which is if you are watching the video, definitely think about your name very near to this. That part will develop into the root. Okay, very simple it is. Okay, right, just a simple knack of remembering things. Okay, it's up to you how you want to remember a few concepts. Okay, many people will have different methods of remembering. Okay, it's up to you to remember the given concept in your own way. Okay, so that's it. Question number 74 is done. Let's move on to question number 75. So question number 75, if a round green seeded pea plant, so he has given round green seeded pea plant, that is RRY, is crossed with, okay, this is crossed with wrinkled yellow seeded pea plant, that is small rr and capital YYs. Okay, so these both are crossed. Okay, now what happens is the question. The seeds produced in F1 generation are, option are round and green, wrinkled and yellow, wrinkled and green, round and yellow. Okay, please note it down. When the crossing happens here, you will be in the first F1 generation. Okay, please note it down. In F1 generation, the seed which is generated is, you actually know the process in detail. You will get RR and YY. That is nothing but round yellow seeded. Okay, so this is actually nothing but round yellow seeds. Okay, we started with what is the first one? Green seeded pea plant. Okay, round and green seeded. The second one is wrinkled and yellow seeded. Okay, so if they are crossed, we get in the first generation, you will get round yellow seed. Okay, so the option give among the following is round green. No, it's not. Wrinkled and yellow, that is not. Wrinkled and green, no, it's round and yellow, which is nothing but, which is found in option D, and that would be my correct option. Okay, these process actually there are too much of explanation for this. As I told you, biology questions are almost about conceptual questions. You should know the concept clearly, only then you will be able to answer the questions correctly and without any doubts precisely. Okay, yeah, so we are done with 75. Let's move on to 76. So question number 76 reads like this. Read the question carefully. The experiences of an individual during its lifetime cannot be passed on to its progeny because they are inherited traits, acquired traits, dominant traits and recessive traits. Okay, so traits are nothing but behaviors. Okay, now we know there are two types of traits or behaviors. One is usually the inherited traits. Okay, this is generally we can call it as the genetical ones, which we carry over from our parents or grandparents. The other one is actually acquired traits. Please note it down. Okay, so first part is inherited traits, the other one is acquired traits. In inherited traits, you can think about the shape or size of a nose, or the style of hair or type of hair, or the height or weight or personality. All these things, these are inherited by our parents. So these will go on from generation to generation. This will be passed on. Okay, but there are some traits which cannot pass on. For example, you may think about your acquiring knowledge or gaining knowledge, and you may think about the bodybuilders gaining the muscle tissues. They are building with muscle tissues. Those things they have not acquired from their parents, rather they have acquired themselves by their hard work or whatever it is. Okay, so just like as I told you, inherited traits and acquired traits. Now, these traits cannot be passed on to the next generation, because this is what you have acquired. Okay, the question he is asking you is the experience of an individual during lifetime cannot be passed on. So, which are the things which cannot be passed on? Is inheritance actually will pass on. Acquired traits are the traits which will not pass on to the next generation. Okay, are you following? So you need not have a detailed explanation of the other options there. This much is enough for you to get the right option for the question. So moving on to question number 77. Analogous organs have, I repeat, analogous organs have same structure and same function, same structure and different function, different structures and same function, different structures and different function. Okay, basically there are two important types of organs. One is analogous organs, the other one is homologous organs. Okay, you know the concepts in detail there. So please note down the different types of organs having now coming to their structures and function. Please note it down. The analogous organs, the structures, okay, the structures will be different. Okay, in analogous organs the structures will be different, but the function will be same. Are you following? Okay, for analogous organs the structures would be different, but the functions would be same. But whereas for homologous, homo means what? Actually it is same. So for homologous organs the structures would be same, okay, but the function would be different. Okay, this is the case. Okay, now he has asked about the analogous organs. So it's very clear, for analogous organs the structures are different but the functions are same. Okay, you may think of sir, give an example. Example is very simple. It's about the wings of bats and butterfly. So are you following? So bats and butterfly, both the function of wings, both of them, it's for flying, but the structures are different. Okay, the wings of bats and wings of butterfly or any other birds are different, isn't it? So these are actually, so in that way the wings are analogous organs. So which is the right option in the given there? So among the four given options, definitely different structures. So search for different structures. So different structures and same function. Don't make a mistake of being in a hurry and selecting option D. Don't do it. Right option is option C. Different structures, same function. Are you following? Okay. It is just like you may think about you, even your nose. The function of nose of organisms, okay, it is just for breathing. Okay, but the structures, the function is same, but the structures of each people or person would be different from each other. Okay, they are own analogous organs, and we have got the right option in option C. Okay, now moving on to question number 78. We are almost moving about the conclusion of the video. Just three more questions are left over. The next question is from the chapter Raw Environment. Very important, dear students, because I somewhere believe that you would have a question on ozone layer, different concepts of ozone layer. The question is, ozone layer is formed from oxygen at the higher levels. Okay, you let us see the chemical reaction of how it is formed, just for your additional information. Okay, ozone layer is formed from oxygen at higher levels of the atmosphere by the action of, means in the presence of, Okay, now there are four options there: X-rays, UV rays, that is ultraviolet rays, that is radiations, infrared radiations, and radio waves. Okay, please note it down. And we all know the chemical reactions of formation of ozone layer. You have to know that. So we all know oxygen, that is O2, will split up into oxygen molecule O and O molecule. Okay, O and O each, and later going on to a higher level. Okay, this O, one of the molecule, this O, it reacts with oxygen which is in the atmosphere, and this will give rise to your O3, which is nothing but your ozone. Okay, now please note it down. The question is, which are the radiation which is required for this to happen? Okay, please don't forget, for the formation of the ozone layer, very important thing is, this will happen in the presence of UV radiations. Is it clear? So this happens in the presence of UV radiations, that is nothing but ultraviolet radiations. Okay, so the option is option B. Okay, so let's read the question once again. Ozone layer is formed from oxygen at the higher levels of the atmosphere by the action of ultraviolet radiations. Okay, or else with the help of, okay, with the help of UV radiations. Okay, so that concludes the question number 78 also. Let's move on to 79. So question number 79 is, a product that can no more be used for the original purpose but use it for some other useful purpose is. I repeat, there is a product, any product which can no more be used for the original purpose but used it for some other useful purpose is. So the option given are recycle, reduce, reuse, repurpose. Okay, probably in the class your teacher would have taught you about 5 hours, 4 hours or 5 hours. Okay, which are those? So these are the four, usually 5 hours. We speak about this, generally we hear this day in and day out. Reduce, weight reduction, they say, reduce your weight. Okay, so reduce. Refuse is just like an English word to say no. Reuse means using it again and again. Repurpose, so the name is here itself. So re means once again, purpose means different purpose. So this is the right option would be there. And recycle, we again know it. Okay, so the right option, the product which can no longer be used for the original purpose but for the other purpose, means the option is repurpose. That product you call, the process is known as repurpose. Okay, the right option would be in option C for question number 79. Is it clear? Very simple one. No need to have much explanation for this question. And we are moving on to the one last question of the science. So the question number 80 is pertaining to the chapter of management of natural resources. The watershed management. This is one of the very important process today, particularly to maintain the balance of the nature. Okay, so the watershed management, what does it do? Okay, what is the use, okay, of watershed management? The four options are, it increases production and income of watershed community, or option B is, it increases droughts and floods. So reading itself, it sounds awkward. That means watershed management will not increase droughts and floods. So definitely not option B. It decreases the biodiversity of downstream reservoirs. Even this is not the right option. Okay, now increases deforestation, never, no chance. Okay, watershed management will not increase deforestation, so definitely it would be the option A. Okay, so please note it down. The main purpose of watershed management is to increase, it is used to increase the biomass. So in that case, to increase the biomass means watershed management increases production and income of watershed community. Is it clear? So that concludes, which is in option A, that concludes all the 40 questions from the part of science. Is it clear? Hope you have enjoyed it. And dear students, so don't forget, you would be doing all your shading in the OMR sheet, and I have completed it using the black or blue ball pen. Okay, hope you have enjoyed this session, dear students. If you feel that these videos have been useful, don't forget